a realization I had about the inability to digest food and leaky gut and insulin resistance. So, I was thinking about bloating that I've had at points in time, specifically before I started taking the HCl and the enzymes. So before I actually realized that the real issue was that I couldn't digest food like at all, and also probably some diabetic gastroparesis, most likely from the looks of it. But overall, I know I couldn't digest food. And I stopped being able to at 15, honestly, maybe even 14, but it got worse at 15. So anyway, when you have the inability to digest food, well, no. When you have gastroparesis, food sits in the stomach way longer than it should. And the real reason for this is blood sugar issues. So maybe your blood sugar is too low for your body to really function. And you may even have some nerve damage from the blood sugar issues, or even from like iatrogenic brain damage and things like that, or all that put together. And so you can eat something like in the morning and it'll still be there at night. So anyway, you lay down at night, or maybe even during the day, and at least for me, what always helped with the pain of not being able to really digest stuff was laying on my back. So sometimes I wouldn't even know that I was bloated until I tried to stand up or sit up or something, or until I tried to walk, and then the pain would kick in. So you're bloating while you're laying down, and all of a sudden you get itchy all over, and then you have to pee, constantly back to back. And I have recently started thinking that this was because of the insulin resistance, and that the itching and having to pee has something to do with proteinuria or kidney issues. But I didn't take enough HCl one day, and it happened again for the first time in a while. Well, honestly, a long time. This was still a while ago, though. And I was thinking about it, and then I pieced it together. Inability to digest food sits in the stomach way longer than it should, in leaky gut. And so if you have leaky gut, that means that the food is spilling over into the bloodstream. And so what's really happening is that there's food toxins and stuff spilling over into the bloodstream at night while you're laying down. And maybe even while you're not laying down, you just get bloated. And the kidney's job is to filter the blood. And so you're getting itchy because the toxins in the blood that are moving through your veins and stuff. And so your skin's itchy. And you have to pee back to back because your kidneys are working really hard to filter the blood that all the toxins from the food just spilled into. Because for one, the food's fermenting, which is causing more bacterial overgrowth and stuff. And then it's spilling into the blood through the leaky gut. And so that's what I pieced together while laying down. And then the two screenshots at the beginning are just about how blood sugar issues can make things blurry. So they said that they swell your eyelids. I don't really know what that will look like, but I know for me it honestly kind of looks like what used to happen when I was still in the Cash for Kids system before I was let off the drugs. I was about to say before I escaped, but I was let off the drugs way before then. And I would have the double vision, blurry vision from the serotonin syndrome and other brain damage causing side effects. And my pupils wouldn't always be dilated. They would sometimes be really small. So I noticed that when my blood sugar is too low for too long, and I do start to not really be able to see, my pupils don't really look swollen. They look smaller than usual instead of dilated. But I guess maybe that's not what the eyelid swelling would necessarily look like. But then again, when people do talk about like your vision getting bad from diabetes, they're usually talking about like type 2 and high blood sugars and how they like damage the blood vessels and like leave a lot of sugar deposits. They're usually not even talking about low blood sugars, so it's all kind of confusing. But yeah, so this is another video about mitochondrial dysfunction and I guess other related stuff that could all go hand in hand with this. And I forgot to say, parasite cleanses help my vision come back. But specifically strong ones like it was either TriHeart Plus or NextGuard, but whichever one has ivory in it. And for whatever reason, whichever one that is that has ivory in it works better than like any other one. But it's impossible to get if you don't have a dog with a prescription. I was lucky to find a lot donated in a box on the side of the road to people with dogs. And I didn't even realize how lucky I was. And I was trying to like not be stingy and not get too much, but honestly I should have got way more than I did just for keepsake for different reasons. But yeah, so whichever one that is, not only is that what really cleared up all my gut dysbiosis a few years ago, because I was like holding on to them for years and trying to not use too many, but also it could clear up the vision issues within sometimes like some minutes or hours, but other times within like by the time I wake up the next morning, my vision will be completely restored. And this was sometimes after like barely being able to see for days. So yeah. Okay, actually, I'm pretty sure I forgot something. I think I forgot to mention that the leaky gut could also be why like you get blood sugar spikes and crashes more or easier, because the sugar is just leaking through into the bloodstream through the gut too. And then that could also be another part of why you have to pee a lot or constantly. It could also be another thing screwing up your kidneys and making them work harder. And leaky gut can worsen insulin resistance or cause it.